In the previous episode, Harriet sacrificed her soul to save Maury's life. In the following scene, we see a frozen place where everything is hidden under the snow. There is also a marvelous place where we see Lady Diana with a cold expression. At the same time, Naberius arrives, who is in monster form and tells her about the Scout of Sword-Crossed Knights. Also, he still doesn't want to leave him, but Lady Diana asks him to stay out of this man her property and spare him. On the other hand, Naberius is in favor of killing him, because they can't leave their enemies like that. Also, Naberius doesn't forget to give her reference to Wisteria. When Lady Diana thinks about the blind girl, then she gets emotional. She wants to make friendship with her, but her status doesn't allow her to make friends with her. Also, Naberius makes her remember that she should place her motive. Naberius takes the scout outside from her property according to her orders. Because of this objective, she has called him. When he goes, she reveals that she cannot forget her motive. In addition, we can see the dead bodies on the dining table. It reveals that something has happened before here. Also, she knows how to deal with the situation she has created in the past. Scene changes to Snowbound Manor. This place is also covered with snow, because this place is near the palace of Lady Diana. Here, we meet with Wisteria and Marbas. Both are going from here when the snow is falling, but Wisteria is feeling cold, because she has the flu. Also, Marbas motivates her to move on, because they have to reach the place before fall night. Wisteria is also tired to death, but she always obeys his orders. On the other hand, Marbas watches the map and discloses that Lady Diana's palace is near. A shine appears in her eyes by listening to it, but it is not for too long, because Marbas has no intention of staying here. Instead, he wants to reach his destination as soon as possible. After listening to it, she becomes sad but couldn't do anything. But soon she falls on the snow, because she is too much tired. However, Marbas asks her to stand up, because they can't stay here. When he looks at her, he understands that the situation is critical. She is barely taking a breath, and her condition has worsened. However, Lady Diana and Naberius were in the sitting area, where Naberius suddenly stood. When Lady Diana inquires, he reveals that he is feeling the presence of a demon. Also, this demon is not ordinary and is the strongest. He also moves to check who this demon is. When he jumps from the window, he looks at Marbas, who is coming to their house for help. But Naberius inquires a rude question about what he is doing here. Marbas scolds him that it is not the right time to ask. Further, he needs to help Wisteria, and Naberius has also felt that something is wrong with Wisteria. Scene changes when Wisteria is in Lady Diana's room. Also, she scolds Marbas for carrying the girl in the snow. She thinks that Marbas is not a gentleman treating the lady like this. Apart from this, she discloses that Wisteria has a cold due to exhaustion and snowy weather. When Naberius looks that Lady Diana scolds Marbas, he makes fun of him. Naberius also starts laughing at him that the mighty demon is compelled to listen to scold Diana. Also, he teases him that he can live like this for a whole century. Lady Diana also tries to prohibit him from ridiculing Marbas, but he doesn't listen to her and irritates Marbas by calling him a babysitter. Marbas is pissed off and wants to teach him a lesson. But Naberius is not the demon who is bothered by these warnings. He doesn't stop himself from making fun of him, and Marbas threatens him with death. Seeing them fighting, Lady Diana asks them to get out of there, because Wisteria needs rest. Even though she has thrown them out of the room, they are still ready to fight. Also, Lady Diana, who has understood that she has made a contract with him. She looks at her, and Wisteria is sleeping and looking better. Moreover, we can see Marbas in the sitting area. His imagination jumps to the past, where he looks at Wisteria, who is fallen because of tiredness. Now, he has jumped to the conclusion that humans are weak. Also, Naberius takes him to the present situation and advises him that he should know more about humans. Although humans are fragile, sometimes they prove to be helpful for them. Marbas, who remains in his attitude, take this advice. In other words, he tells him not to speak more. Naberius is astonished to see his attitude while sitting in his house. He never forgets to mention his behavior at his house. Also, he discloses that they are dealing with a horrible situation. As Marbas has examined his house, he knows their house has no servants, which is weird. But he takes this as the part of the critical situation. Apart from this, we look at Snow, who is returned to the Knights. He inquires about the situation that could be more favorable. The nurse reveals to him that the commander has returned. In addition, they are up to something bigger, and he becomes astonished to listen to it. In the next scene, we look at Commander, who is assigning his subordinates a great mission. Also, their next mission is Lady Diana's house according to the royal order. The astonishing thing is that the commander is also participating in this, because they are going to confront with a demon who is more powerful than Astaroth. Upon hearing this, all subordinates are astonished. Those thinking of fighting alone with this demon have given up this idea. In addition, the commander remembers to be cautious with Lady Diana, because she has made a pact with Naberius, which can be dangerous for them. The following morning, Wisteria wakes up and she is happy. She also expresses her feeling in front of Lady Diana. She also wipes out her wax with a silk handkerchief. Naberius is astonished that she is doing this with her cloth. Although Lady Diana is also glad to meet her, she knows that she must ask them to go. By listening to it, Wisteria has become depressed, but she inquires about the reason behind this decision. She knows that a blind girl can't be helpful, but she wants to know the situation. So, Lady Diana reveals that 350 years ago, her family member, the Earl, made a pact with the demon. After doing, the male who is the heir can see the demons. Royal officials took advantage of this ability and allowed them to serve the court. So they are making sure to eliminate the demons and also can inform them about them to official. They always have a bell in their hand. By ringing the bell, they inform about the demon, and they take action. With this action, the Black Bell family has become famous, but rival has also approached, and they have made their name by capturing the demons. However, she believes that they are doing their duty. On the other hand, their duties have finished, because her brother cannot see the demons. Sword-Crossed Knights want to take advantage of it. Meanwhile, Wisteria wants to disclose that her brother is also in the Sword-Crossed Knights, but Marbas doesn't allow her to say any word, because they can't put her in danger. Aside from this, her brother has tried to revolt, but he can't do anything because he has no power to see demons. Now, the Black Bell name has been ruined, and Sword-Crossed Knights will come to avail the opportunity. Also, she knows that this palace will soon turn into war. That's why she wants to let them go as soon as Wisteria rectifies. At night, Marbas goes to her room and inquires about her health. Wisteria gives him a positive response, but Marbas has also realized that he has done wrong to her. Also, he should make her compelling to walk on the snow for only a short time. So, he asks for forgiveness and advises her to inform him if something happens, because he would be happy to stay with her. Marbas has also decided not to hurry and walk along with her. At the same time, Wisteria shows her concern about Lady Diana. She knows that Lady Diana is against Sword-Crossed Knights, so her brother and Lady Diana both are on the opposite side. In addition, it will be difficult to see the fight between the people she cherishes most. Only she can hopes that they wouldn't confront in the fight. Apart from this, she knows that Lady Diana is on the right path and wants to revive her family's status. So, she is not the one who can judge her. In the meantime, Naberius, listening to them, praises her thoughts. He assumes that Wisteria has rectified, so he asks them to leave, because they have seen the situation and know that they are coming toward them. So, they can't put them in the problem and ask them to go away. We also see Lady Diana, whom Lord Stanley and his subordinates have attacked. Despite being scared, she smiles and is ready to confront them. She welcomes them as if they are her guests, but wrathful Shuan takes permission from Lord Stanley. Lord Stanley is not happy to meet with her and considers her enemy to permit him. Shuan has gotten permission and moves to her with his weapon. But when he is about to take off her head, Naberius arrives and makes his attack useless. Also, he has thrown him away from the window. On the other hand, Marbas is taking Wisteria away by holding her in his hand. But she continuously thinks about Lady Diana, whom she considers her friend. Also, she wants to help her, but Marbas doesn't want to invite any danger into his life again. By seeing her face, he is ready to see them, but he has decided not to meddle in this affair. Marbas knows that Naberius is not a demon whom anyone can kill quickly. Apart from this, Naberius has beaten all the people severely. Also, Vivian is hanging in the arm of Naberius. In the meantime, Shuan again runs to attack him, but he pushes him away. He wants to take his life, but Lady Diana doesn't allow him to do this. Lord Stanley has realized that she has made a pact with a demon who is most potent. Also, she reveals that she only wants her family status and asks them to go from here. But at the same time, some lightning swords move toward her. Scene changes to Wisteria, who feels like something terrible has happened. She shares her idea with Marbas, but he doesn't take it seriously. However, Naberius comes before her, and swords penetrate his body. His blood spills on her, and Lady Diana is worried about him. At the same time, Commander is quite confident that he has died. He asks Lady Diana to wake him and show him other tricks. So, she wipes out her tears and tells Naberius to wake up, because it's time for action. Further, her family's survival depends upon this fight, and she can't turn back on this. Also, Naberius is the demon who can't die with such an easy trick. By listening to it, Naberius wakes up and is ready to knock him down. He moves to the commander and stabs his neck with his sword. Blood comes from his neck when he penetrates his hand into his body. Also, he throws him away, But the most shocking incident is in front of him. He is not dead despite the severe injuries. Lady Diana knows that he is not a human, but Nabrius is not ready to believe that he is not a human and moves to attack him. He throws him to the wall, but Commander is still alive. Now, they are fighting, and Commander has again inflicted him with severe injuries. But he is still ready to fight and understands that he is not human. Marbas is watching this and his mouth has opened that humans can give him severe injuries. Seeing that he is in a problem, Marbas runs to Nabrius and slaps his face with his red hair. Also, he remembers to warn Wisteria not to leave this place and stay hidden from the enemies. Aside from this, Commander is shocked because he doesn't know about the presence of the second demon. On the other hand, Marbas is scolding him for how a human can beat him. Nabrius clarifies his position by saying that this Commander is not a human, but he thinks that Nabrius is making excuses and starts reprimanding him. He thinks Nabrius has put the name of 13 calamities of the wasteland into dust. However, Nabrius, who is irritated, punches his face for scolding him. In the meantime, Commander is thinking about the red demon. He also thinks that he is the same demon about whose Taknami has informed in the report. Now, he diverts their attention toward him and shares his opinion. That demon doesn't fight together but thinks they are comrades. Also, they are going to fight together. This statement makes them furious and both punch his stomach. Now, Marbas is shocked and knows that Nabrius is right. Also, Nabrius is wrath because he is also saying the same thing. But Marbas is not ready to believe him. Both have united to beat him, and the Commander can see a strong aura. Nevertheless, Marbas has no intention of indulging in their affair, but he has inflicted it and has no option except to face it. Commander knows that he can't face them, so he wants to offer Lady Diana. Lady Diana has no power and the same case is with her brother. So, he says he doesn't intend to shed more blood and asks her to share this message with her brother. By listening to it, Nabrius challenges him to fight, but he has no intention of proceeding with the fight. Lady Diana also has no intention of shedding the blood, so she agrees. In the following scene, Wisteria is worried about Lady Diana. Lady Diana calms her and says that she is okay. She has become glad by listening to it, and the happiness can be seen on her face. But Lady Diana doesn't know why she is so much happy. Now, Wisteria reveals that she considers her as friend. By listening to it, Lady Diana is also pleased, because she always wanted to be her friend. Aside from this, we look at Nabrius, who is on his knees. He is complaining about how the Commander has made holes in his body. So, Marbas helps him to stand up, and Lady Diana assumes they have become friends. But both become furious and they pretend as if they are not friends. However, she tells Wisteria to come inside, because it's too cold outside. In the following scene, we see Marbas in the servant's clothes. He is angry and doesn't know why he is doing this. So, Lady Diana reveals that she will meet with Commander or Royals as a lady. So, it would be good if she has a servant. However, she does have a servant, but she asks him to become her servant. In the meantime, Nabrius arrives, who is in the master's dress. He is going to meet with them by becoming Noah Blackbell. Also, he teases Marbas by calling himself master, but he wants to beat him hard. Marbas is trying to control his anger, which is overwhelming. This is how the 4th episode of the Tale of Outcasts ends. If you are excited for 5th part, comment below the Immortal Demon Part 5. Also, subscribe and check out to Annie Summary for more anime recaps.